All right. I didn't hear it go bloom that time either. So if we're recording, then great. So this is the circuit that we are going to build in Tinkercad right now. And we're going to use this circuit to test out our 7-segment displays. So, so to get started in Tinkercad, let's start with a breadboard. I'm going to get a full-size breadboard and a power supply. Go ahead and wire. Okay, so my board is wired for power. I'm going to need 8 switches, well, 7 switches. And the easiest way to do that is with, the easiest way that I know of is with 2 of these. So I'm going to bring switches out here. And then we'll go get a 7-segment display. So when you bring your 7-segment display on, you'll see that you can select up here common anode or common cathode. And so for this design, we're using a common cathode display. So make sure that we have cathodes selected there. Now what that means is that the common pin on the top and the bottom needs to get wired to the ground. So this one's common. So I am going to bring that over to ground. And then same thing with this one. So now this chip, then what we need to do is when we want one of these to light up, then we need power running to it. So, but we also need resistors because these are LEDs, right? And my power supply here, I'm going to make it 3.3 volts because some of the chips don't like 5 volts. Some of our chips like to blow up when we run 5 volts. Okay. So what do we need to do? We need a resistor for each one of them, and they're using 220 ohm resistors here, but that's for this one. We need to figure out what ours needs. So we need a bunch of switches and a bunch of resistors. So let's see. We need resistors. So I'm going to bring, I'll start with just one resistor. And then I'm going to adjust the resistance to 220 because that's what they had. So we'll start off using that. Now we're going to copy and paste that resistor. We get a total of 7. All right. And we can name them A. This one doesn't get named. This one's E. This one's F. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to wire, let's bring G over to FG. So we need to bring a wire that goes from the G resistor over to the G terminal row. So that's going to the G, right? So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. F is right here. So I'm going to run a wire over to my F resistor row. And this is the common, this is A. And then, so I need to run it from A over to A. So I'll grab a little wire here, run that over to right there. So there's the A resistor is connected to the A terminal. Same for B. Now we got the B resistor connected to the B terminal. Also, so we got A, B, G, and F. So now we need to come down here. That's decimal point. That's C. So let's run a wire from C over to the C resistor. Then from D over to the D resistor. And then from E over to the E resistor. All right, so now, you know what, I don't want to have these on the bottom. I want to have everything on the top. So I want everything like from the top of these resistors going over to the LEDs. So I'm just going to make this I'm going to jump it up here, and then I'll bring this guy. So then I'll bring a wire over. That was E. So EFG. So the E, yeah, I want to make sure I want all these wires to be on the top. Okay, so E we ran over here and then up over here over to the E terminal. Then D. So that's connected to the top of the D resistor, and then C. To the top of the third resistor. Okay, so now the tops of all these resistors are leading over to the appropriate pins. A is over here at the A pin. The top of the B resistor is wired over to the B pin. Top of the C resistor is wired over to the C pin. Top of the D resistor is wired over to the D pin. The top of the E resistor is wired over to the E pin. The top of the F resistor is wired to the F pin, and the top of the G resistor is wired to the G pin. So now all we need to do is run wires from our switches over to the bottoms of our resistors. That's A, B, we did a light blue. C is purple. D was dark blue. E is that color. Purple. Yeah, I guess that's pink. So E was pink. F is yellow. G was orange. Okay, so then all we got to do is run wires now. So I'm going to run a wire, a green one, over there. Blue one next. Light blue. Then a purple one. Over to C. Then a blue one over to D. Then a pink one. Over to E. A yellow one to F. And an orange one, G. Okay, so now we've got power supply, we've got our everything wired up, so we should be able to start our simulation. And when I flip the first switch, that should light up segment A, which is right here. Oh yeah, my bad, segment A, we start at the top. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So then segment B will light up, then segment C, segment D, E, F, and G. So then what you're going to do for the assignment after you build this, you're going to use this to answer these questions. So what do the A, B, what do these switches all need to be in order to display a 0? Well, it says they're A through F are 1s and G is a 0. So if we do that, A, B, C, D, E, F are all on, G is off, and that's a 0. So then what do we need to do to have a 1? Well, we just want B and C on. So we want A off and everybody else off. So a 1 would be 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. So you would put 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0 for a 1. And then you keep doing that for all the numbers. Then you figure out which ones, you pick some letters that you can do and show what the combinations have to be for those letters. Okay, So I'm gonna stop this video.